So how's everyone doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome to those who joined. We're going to give people a couple of minutes to log in, but welcome to Halftime 2020. My name is Vonel Lamour of Webprint Lab, and I'm going to be your moderator for this morning. I'm very excited because we have two special guests, or two special co-hosts, I should say, who will be with us to give us some great information, some great words, some great sort of advice, and some pointers on how to sort of make it through the rest of the year. I will give full introductions in a moment, but we do have Guerlince Semerzier and we have Roseph Louisaint. So as you wait, I know we have folks who are chiming in from all over. We have folks who are on Zoom. We have folks who are on Facebook Live. But what we encourage you to do is leave a question, okay? Again, we're going to be talking, as the presentation goes along, we're going to be taking all the questions at the end. But feel free to leave questions in the chat. It can be, there's no bad question, there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So feel free to, ask any question that you feel. Again, I'll go into the bios in about 5 minutes. But in the meantime, feel free to drop some questions in on how you're feeling today, on things that you've been thinking about. Maybe it could be the news, maybe it could be family, maybe it could be in the realm of therapy, in the realm of business consulting, in the realm of nonprofits, and just overall life. A lot of things happening. Any insight in terms of this climate before you get into your presentation? You guys want to quickly chime in on the times and how things are going and how that's played an impact into your day to day?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And thank you to all the people that we have here right now. For me, the last 3 months has been kind of rough. My life totally changed. I went from working in the community to just working at home now. And for a while, I had to kind of like sit back and wait for the agency that I work for to kind of like figure out how we're going to deliver the service that I typically deliver in the home now over the phone. So it's like everything kind of changed. I went from having so many plans and different things that I had to do for the year. And it's like everything kind of like stopped for me. So it's been kind of rough, I would say, just pretty much. Yeah.
Well, hello, good morning, everyone. But no, for me, it's the opposite. Yes, it's been a rough year, but I'm excited to talk about it. And it's been a great so far. It's been as disappointed it might be for some of us in terms, or tragic in terms, for some of us who have lost family members and things due to the epidemic. But at the same time, on the reverse side, it's it's also good for some of us as well. I'll get into it later on, but I'm just excited, excited for today, excited for what we're about to cover, excited and what's to come. And
So for those who didn't hear me, who are just tuning in, once again, my name is Vonel Lamour of Webprint Lab, and you are here at Halftime 2020, which is a personal development motivational forum where we're going to cover topics ranging from mental health, ranging from personal development, a little bit of business coaching, and basically how to overcome or look into the rest of the year. We called it Halftime 2020, being that we're in June. We're halfway through the month. So we're looking to give the community some jewels, some powerful words to sort of help you through and give you some a little bit of a boost as we end the year. Because without further ado or notice, I'm going to introduce our first speaker for this morning. I'm going to re-say hello to Miss Roseph Louisaint. If you want to quickly say hello, but I'm going to give you give folks who don't know her, who are not familiar, give a little intro on who she is. Miss Roseph Louisaint is a highly trained and experienced home-based and school-based therapist that is in a thriving interest in helping people to overcome the challenges that they face in life. With over 10 years of experience, she's been working with underprivileged youth and adults with mental health challenges from depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and more. Her skillful cultural blending approach of cognitive behavior, motivational interviewing, solutions focus, and psychoeducation has made her one of the most sought-after experts and speakers in the Haitian community. She's graduated with a master's in education with a focus in mental health, counseling, marriage, and family therapy from Cambridge College. She also has a bachelor's degree and master's in business administration from Nazarene College. Highly educated, highly skilled, lots of experience. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Vonel. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And again, I want to say good morning to everyone that is logged in right now, that is listening. As Vonel mentioned, my name is Roseph Louisaint, and I am a community-based family therapist. I do work with individuals and family that has children that are I deal with children that are on the spectrum and also children that have social, emotional, behavioral issues. I work with a lot of adults that are struggling with mental illnesses. I do a lot of coaching as far as life coaching to help them kind of like get their life together and deal with the challenges that they face. I'm very, very excited about this presentation. When Lens asked me to be the guest speaker, to be honest, I was a little nervous. I wasn't really sure. Public speaking is not really my thing, but when he presented the idea to me, I became very excited and said to myself, given everything that is happening right now in the world, we are dealing with a pandemic and we have all the social injustice issues that we are dealing in this country. I feel that self-care was definitely, it was the time to talk about self-care, and this platform was absolutely the right platform to do so. 2020 hasn't really been kind to us. The last 3 months, like I said earlier, has been pretty tough. I've lost some loved ones, and as far as my professional life, everything kind of changed. I went from working in the home to doing telehealth, which is doing therapy over the phone. It's great. It's still the same service, but it's different. For me personally, working 8 hours, going from one family to another, or seeing one individual or one kid in the school, to being on the phone for 5 to 7 hours, just doing therapy-based work, it's very overwhelming. So I myself had to start relearning to do self-care, to practice self-care, to take care of me, because I used to have one session to another and I'll have a little bit of time. But when you're home, you have my home used to be my safe place. Now it's no longer my safe place. It's my work environment. I can't leave work in the driveway and walk home, because right now my office is in my home. So again, I had to kind of like separate my personal life with my professional life and learn to take care of myself. We have to maintain our peace in order to be able to deal with challenges. So that's the reason why it is important, very, very important, to practice self-care, and not just practice self-care, but good, healthy self-care to take care of yourself. I am going to go right into my presentation, and just bear with me because, go ahead.
No, do your thing, not a problem. Okay. Yeah, log in. You can, share your screen, share your PowerPoint. Yes. As you set that up. For those just tuning in, just want to give you a reminder of where you're at. You're at Halftime 2020, which is a forum on personal development and setting up the rest of your year. My name is Vonel Lamour from Webprint Lab, and we're here with Roseph Louisaint and Guerlince Semerzier. So we're going to have our first presenter, as she is a tech wizard. We'll load your PowerPoint. If you
all right.
That button on the bottom.
So I am loading the PowerPoint now. Are you guys able to see it? Is there anything that I need to do to make it?
That bottom piece to make it. There we go. All right.
Okay.
So once again, folks, feel free to drop your questions. If you're on Facebook Live, you can drop it in the comment section. If you're on Zoom, you can also put it in the comment section. We will look over your questions and answer everything towards the end. So, Ms. Louisaint, the floor is yours.
Okay, so staying within the theme of the presentation of the idea that Lens had. So I created the 5 reasons why self-care is important. And I'm hoping that by the end of the presentation, you yourself will also be able to create 5 reasons why self-care is also important to you. And throughout the presentation, I will reiterate how important it is to practice good self-care. So why self-care is important? First of all, self-care encourages us to maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves. And once you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you are also able to transmit that good feelings to others. One thing I want everyone to understand, that you cannot give what you really don't have yourself. So taking care of yourself so you can take care of the others around you is not selfish. It's really you learning to to kind of like be able to give more to the people around you, to give more to your work, to be more productive, to give more to your family and friends, to give more to your to the goals that you have set for yourself. So the 5 reasons why self-care is important, like I said, you are more productive. Being more productive, it could be in the workplace, it could be in your personal life. For the parents that are here taking care of your children, you are more productive. You get to do more. You are definitely happier. You have less stress. So who doesn't want to be happy? So actually being happy is like the ultimate goal for most of us. So when you practice good self-care, you feel better, and you are also much happier. And you also avoid burnout. Now, in the next slide, I'm also going to talk about burnout, because I think burnout is something that we need to address, and it's important to understand what burnout is. So when you practice good self-care, you avoid burnout, and you take care of your physical health. Now, taking care of your physical health, when you're physically fit, you are able to do great things. You are able to do bigger things. And most importantly is also that when you practice self-care, you are taking care of your mental and emotional health. Now, I cannot stress how important that is to take care of your mental and emotional self. You need to be able to, you need to be emotionally grounded so you can make good decisions for yourself. You need to be emotionally grounded so you can set goals for yourself. And not only when you set your goals, you will be able to put in the work that you need to achieve those goals when you are emotionally grounded. And self-care does that for you. I want to take a minute just to talk about burnout and how to avoid it. Burnout pretty much is the state of being physically and mentally tired, and it can happen to anyone. Once you get to that stage, you begin to lose interest, you're not motivated. And once again, when you're burnout, the negative impact, it spills over every aspect of your life. That includes your personal life, your social life. If you're someone that is in school, your work, everything is really impacted in a negative way. And some of the signs of burnout, sometimes like we get very, very excited about things that we want to do. We can make plans and said that we set our goals and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I have this plan. And then you go in, you start working, and you start doing the things that you need to do to make this happen for yourself. And then all of a sudden you find yourself kind of like getting discouraged. So that is a sign of when you're burnt out. Your body and your mind, it has this unique connection. And sometimes when you get to this high, you excited, you feel good. But if you're mentally exhausted, it's really, really hard for you to feel that high. It's really, really hard for you to transmit that high to anybody else. So to go into the some of the signs of burnout, you may start feeling like every day is just a bad day, or you just start to feel very, very tired. You are exhausted. You feel like nothing really makes sense sometimes. It's almost as if you're getting a little depressed. The normal things that you used to do take kind of longer for you to do it. And it doesn't only impact you physically, emotionally, but physically as well. You start to feel tired. You can start feeling headaches, and you start having muscle pains. And another thing, it also impacts your sleeping habits, and it even lower your immunity. So you can start getting sick all the time. So it is very important to know these signs as you move forward to working towards your goals. When we are talking about empowerment and setting goals, as Lens will go deeper later on, you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure. You want to make sure that you are pacing yourself, you are taking good care of yourself, and that you are not going and going and going and going, and then boom, you hit a brick wall, and then you're not able to accomplish these wonderful goals that you have set for yourself. So To avoid burnout, you have to, once again, like I said, practice good self-care. And what is good self-care? It's a unique thing, but there are also some very basic things that you can do. One of the things that you can do to start practicing good self-care for yourself is to set boundaries. By boundaries, I mean knowing your limit, knowing what your body can take, knowing when it's time for you to walk away, knowing when it's time to just take a nap, and just have these boundaries, and knowing when to say no, when you can't really do something, when it's that time for you to just be like, okay, I've given it my best and I'm walking away. So set these boundaries for yourself. And exercise. Exercise is good. It makes you strong. Some people like to walk. Some people go to the gym. Like now we can't really go to the gym anymore. That has been taken away from us. So going for a 10, 15 minutes walk, whatever that your body can take. And some people like yoga. Some people like to go bike riding. Do some type of physical activity just to keep yourself going. And also know what relaxes you. Some people like to read, some people like to listen to music. Some people, relaxing means, having a glass of wine, whatever that you have to do, but learn yourself, because self-care is also a journey of learning who you are. So learn what relaxes you and reach out to people. Reach out to people when you get to that point where you feel overwhelmed, or you don't really know what you're feeling, but you know that you're not yourself. Reach out to people. Reach out to your friends. Have some of the people that you share your exciting news with, reach out to these people and talk to them. And also reach out to a therapist. You can have a therapist. There's nothing wrong with having professional help. If you get to that point where you feel like mentally you're not there, mentally you're not feeling the same, reach out to a therapist. Reach out to someone that you can talk to. Another thing is acceptance. Be kind to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. As a parent, sometimes, I feel like I want to keep going. And I have to remind myself, okay, Roseph, you've done your best. You've done all that you could in the situation. Now it's time to kind of like forgive yourself and move on and be happy and accept that you are not Superwoman. I think it's for me as a woman, that has been very hard for me to accept that my limitations. So good self-care is accepting those limitations. Be a healthy eater. Just eat what is good for you. I'm not really gonna talk so much about that because I know people have different health eating habit. So we have a list of good things that you can eat. Drink a lot of water. Eat your vegetables. So just kind of like do a little tweak to your healthy your eating habit. That is also part of good self-care. And another thing is also to develop a good sleeping habit. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about sleeping habit. Some people seem to think that going to sleep is just you get in your bed and you have your comfortable pillow, your comfortable sheets, and you're ready to go. Having a good night's sleep, the quality of your sleep is a process, and it starts with during the day. It has to do with the things that you do during the day. That's what's going to determine how good of a night's sleep that you are going to have. The quality of your sleep is based on that process. And there are a lot of things that you can do to make sure that you have a good night's sleep. The caffeine consumption that you do. Like some people would have a cup of coffee at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they expect to have a good night's sleep that night. That's probably not going to happen because a lot of people, caffeine does affect your system, and it keeps you up. Do not eat late in the evening. Try to kind of like maybe after 7 o'clock, not have a big healthy meal, because that is also going to impact the quality of your sleep. For me, before I go to sleep, I try to turn my my TV off at least an hour before I go to bed, just to kind of like to calm myself down, to relax myself. Again, those are the little things that you can do, because it is very important to think about the messages that you are giving to your mind. You have to be mindful, because if you give yourself the negative energy that you give yourself, it will impact the quality of your sleep. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, know your limit. I think I mentioned that before. Know your limit. Know what you can and cannot do as far as your body. And stay consistent with your goals. That's going to make you feel better. That's part of good self-care. When you have you've set goals for yourself, try to stay consistent, and that in itself will make you feel comfortable. And create your own self-care list so you can practice. Different people have different things that they that works for them. What works for me might not necessarily work for someone else. So create your own list so you can figure out what you need to do so you can take care of your emotional well-being. And also another part of good self-care is to also learn to identify the stresses in your life, the things that are kind of like keeping you from reaching your goals. So once you've identified these things, you can actually have different interventions in place so you can make sure that those things are not impacting your life in a negative way. When the small little things happen, celebrate them. When the big things happen, celebrate them. That is also part of good self-care. And again, understand that you cannot give what you don't have. If you're not taken care of, then you cannot take care of the people around you. That's just a given, and I think everybody kind of understand that. You just can't give what you don't have. Now, I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why I practice self-care. Someone once told me that empathy and compassion, those are the driving force behind changes. So therefore, I practice empathy towards myself all the time because I feel that this is what's going to help me make all the changes that I want to make in my life, the positive changes that I want to make in my life. So that is one major reason why I practice self-care. I have more to give. I have more to give in my professional life. I have more to give in my personal life. I have more to give my children. I have more to give my family and friends. I have more to give the different relationships that I have in my life. I am able to focus on my goals. As human being, I think that is like one of the driving force behind us. We have to set goals. We are goal driven people. So being able to focus on my goals and actually achieve them, I have to. That's important to me. So therefore, I practice good self-care so I can do these things and so I can make good, healthy decisions for myself. I do not want to be a person that is reckless. I do not want to be a person that's making poor decisions that's going to impact me in a negative way. So therefore, I practice self-care. So my mind is I'm always grounded. I'm always able to, this is not to say that I'm not going to make mistakes, that I'm not going to fail at things, but when I practice self-care, when I'm grounded, when my mind is clear, I am able to make good decisions for myself. And I show love to myself. I love myself. I have to love myself first. Because if I don't love myself, I mean, I have other people around me that loves me, but I have to love me because there are a lot of things that are unique to me. There are a lot of things that are my goals, the things that I want to do. So I have to love myself and be kind. We have to learn to be kind to ourselves. People struggle with that, just to be kind. I think one of the things that part of practicing self-care, good self-care, is to be mindful of the way you talk to yourself. Some people are very critical to themselves and they talk to themselves in a very negative way. So be mindful, pay attention to how you talk to yourself. When something happens, instead of saying, oh my God, I failed, I did this wrong, say to yourself, you did your best. You did not get to where you wanted to be. You did not do what you wanted to do, but you can try tomorrow. You will have another opportunity to try again and to give it your best. So be very mindful as far as how you talk to yourself. I'm gonna go into 5 easy self-care tips with you. Those are things that you can do. They're very, very easy, such as taking 15 minutes of the day for yourself. Every day, kind of like take 15 minutes for yourself. It doesn't matter what you do within that 15 minutes, but make sure that it's just for you. It's not 15 minutes where you reading you setting your goals. It's not 15 minutes when you trying to feed your family. It's not 15 minutes while you're doing your regular chores, but it's like 15 minutes for yourself. It could be 15 minutes where you're just sitting there. It could be 15 minutes that you are drinking a cup of tea. It could be 15 minutes that you walk in. It could be 15 minutes that you are watching something that you really, really absolutely enjoy, something that brings you joy. It could be 15 minutes that you are meditating. It could be 15 minutes that you are reading your favorite book or your favorite quotes. That's one thing that I enjoy doing. I enjoy reading different quotes, positive affirmation quotes, not any quotes, but it could be that 15 minutes. Also, get outside, go outside, and you don't have to go for a long walk. It doesn't have to be an hour walk, a 40 minutes walk. It could just be that you open your door and you just stand outside. Just stand there. Just let the fresh air come in, and it will do you some good. Again, make small, healthy dietary changes. If you were the type of person that was not into eating fruit, maybe you can add one or two. Maybe you can have an orange per day if it was something that you weren't doing before. If you were having 2 bottles of water, make sure you have 3 now. Just little changes. It's good to do things gradually instead of going in and changing your entire the entire first habit that you have, because that will also drive you to burnout if you just make drastic changes in your life. So make small changes that would also help you. Again, sleeping. I don't know how I can emphasize that more. Good quality sleep. It is very, 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 very important that you do sleep. You do sleep at night. And like I said, it's a process, and it starts during the day. Make sure that you are doing the little things that you can do to make sure that when you get to the time where you need to go to sleep, that you actually have a good night's sleep. And also positive reflections. I'm always saying positive things to myself. I always remind myself. I make little notes to myself, positive reflections, and think about these things. It will make you feel better, and it will improve your relationships with other people. It will improve all the different aspects in your life. And just by kind of like reflecting on the good things that you have in your life. Some people sometimes stay on the negative, and as you're doing that, those are all messages that you're sending to yourself. So the more positive you are, the more you will feel better about yourself. And self-care is anything that improves your well-being. And like I said, it encourages you to take time out. It encourages you to look at yourself. It encourages you to learn about yourself, and encourages you to do better for yourself. I actually have a quote, and it's not, this is the last, I think this is the end of my presentation, but I do have a quote that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm not sure why it's not showing here, but I will share that with you as I end my presentation. Someone once, during a conversation I was having with someone, and the person said, "There's nothing more powerful than a changed mind to me." And that, it resonates with me and kind of like changed me when I heard that line. And it made me kind of like curious, and started to look into the line that the person says, and I realized that it was a quote. And once you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. I think it's very important for people to understand that it is something that we need you need as a human being. It's something that you need as a society. We need to really look at our mindsets and understand that once we change our mindset, everything will fall into place, and amazing things will happen for you. And that is the end of my presentation. And thank you for everyone who actually stayed and listened to the presentation. I know we are going to have a Q&A at the end. I might not have all the answers for you, but this is my information here. You feel free to give me a call, and feel free to email me. I'd love to hear from everyone. And thank you. And thank you, Lens, for having me. And Vonel, thank you.
Well, no, thank you. Well, you're welcome, but thank you for that wonderful presentation. And definitely a good way to end the session. I think I was able to find the quote that you're referring to. Do you see that on your screen?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so there's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. Definitely a powerful quote. Definitely a great way to end. So for those listening who tuned in between, feel free to leave some questions on the bottom. You're tuned in to Halftime 2020. You've just listened to Roseph Louisaint, who just gave us some wonderful, amazing information on how to cope and deal with just everything that's been going on and some self-help. So if there are any questions, again, leave them in the comments or leave them anywhere on Facebook. And I won't delay anymore. We have our second, last, but definitely not least, speaker of this morning. And hello, Guerlince, are you there? You hear me?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right, so I'm going to do an introduction here. We have Guerlince Semerzier, and he's a business and nonprofit organization development consultant, executive coach, a speaker with over 25 years of business executive and project management experience in various sectors. He has advised, consulted, and coached several executives to launch and operate their nonprofits and businesses. He's an author of 2 books. One of them I have right here, which is the 5 Reasons Workbook Journal, and also the AZ for Nonprofit Organizations. He's been a lecturer, a presenter. He's been pretty much anything you can name under the moon, worked with all types of organizations from WGBH, WBZ, Fox News, all over the place. He also holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Salem State. He's a 2012 graduate fellow of Tufts University's Clinical and Translational Science Institute. And he's also a 2017 graduate of the Institute of Nonprofit Practice. Plenty of degrees, plenty of experience. Lance has been doing some great things in the community. Welcome.
Thank you for the great introduction.
We are in for a 2-for-1 treat here, so we definitely got treated with the first half. But Lance is going to close us out with another presentation coming from the business consultant angle. So in the meantime, if you want to get your PowerPoint ready.
I got it ready. I just got to share my screen. Give me one second.
And again, welcome to everybody who's on the chat. A lot of folks, too many to name. We got Mark on the line. We got Brenda. We have Mr. Galaxy Note. We have Ann. We have shout out to Danny, Gabriel. We got Hansi on the line. How we doing with the little one? We have Nagatna. We have Sandra. Of course, I'm going to butcher some names. We have Eves on the line. Veronique on the line. Ralph Joseph all the way from Atlanta on the line. Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully everybody's enjoying this wonderful presentation that we have here. We know there's a lot of things you can be doing with your Saturday morning, but it's good that you're taking the time out to learn a thing or two and to connect. So once again, if you have any questions at any point during the presentation, leave them in the comments. Hello to everybody tuned in on Zoom. Hello to everybody tuned in on Facebook, from your phone, from Haiti, or wherever else you're tuned in from. Hello and welcome. So without further ado, Lance, if you want to take the floor.
Thank you, Vonel, for this wonderful introduction. I want to thank everyone who's on live with us. And as Vonel said, there's on a Saturday morning, and we know how precious your time is on a Saturday. You're taking your time to come and listen to us. It means a lot to us as we share this, this few word of wisdom and tools with you to really, the idea of why we put this event together is really to help you set the next half of the year, make it the best of the year. We understand that as we started this year, it's been a very, very challenging year up to this point. So before I dive into my presentation, I just want to thank our sponsors, U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce, for allowing us to use the platform, their Zoom platform, providing the technical backgrounds and stuff to make it happen. Also VPrint Lab with Vonel for all your marketing needs, website, flyers, print, whatever you may need. You may want to whether it's a t-shirt that you wanted to get designed, shout out to Vonel for designing these t-shirts. All the five, if you guys seen all these 5 Reasons t-shirts, all of them was designed by Vonel, and so big shout out to him. The VPrint Lab.
May I say that I was in a big bind. I was in a major bind personally. Sorry for interrupting you.
How dare you?
I needed some t-shirts within like 48 hours. I literally called over 15 different vendors in Massachusetts. I've called over 15 different vendors outside of Massachusetts. Everybody said, no, it can't be done. There's no way it can be done. I called Vonel. Guess what? He made it happen. Within a period of 18 hours, I had 24 custom shirts in my hand. Thank you. Vonel, you're the real deal, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the shout out.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Mark. Thank you, Mark. So yeah, this is those type of thing that we try to create the type of network and things. So we're very happy for the sponsorship and the support. And so the few things that the few words that I'm gonna share with you, basically, some of them you probably heard of, but sometimes it's good to be to hear things over and over, so that could resonate with us. So I'm just so happy and grateful to be share with you guys. As Vonel said, that was my first book, A to Z of nonprofit organizations. I've been in the nonprofit sector for a while, and work on a few organizations. So just want to shameless plug. That was if you didn't get a chance to read this book, and if you're in the nonprofit field that have any questions, so wrote it, has all the answers you may need, and be more than happy to talk to you as well about it. So a lot of those information that I'm about to cover, it's based on 5 Reasons journal, which I just launched about this year. So interestingly, as we're talking about 2020, let me just dive into my to the presentation. Okay, as we a little bit about 5 Reasons. 5 Reasons is a company, basically. It's a 5 Reasons Brand LLC. So the company is designed to help promote self-awareness, self-esteem with all of our products that we do, combined with, it's to help promote, self-awareness, self-esteem, and positive and empowerment, but we also serve as a marketing education company as well, to really educate folks around, personal self-development. To Marie, they just did a wonderful presentation in terms of self-care, what we need to do to take care of ourselves. So that kind of plugged into a perfect marriage and to what I'm about to share with you guys in a few minutes. But the idea of 5 Reasons, really focusing on inspiration, motivation, and actions, really to help you stay motivated and stay positive, basically, with all of our products that we offer. If you need more information, you could go on our website, 5 Reasons, number 5 Reasons .life. All right, dive into 2020. Since the year start, I know when we started 2020, a lot of us had big hope, how we were going to make the year the best of the year 2020. So make it very special. Had a lot of wishes. As you know, the way you could look at it is by breaking the year into 4 quarters. We know the first quarter is January to March, and then move into the second quarter, April to June, which will lead us to the halftime, where we at now. Today is June 27th, so which is the halftime right now. So this weekend, play the halftime before we dived into the second half of the year, and on starting Wednesday, on the 1st. So with as we started the year, we started with a very challenging with the COVID-19 epidemic. And then moving on to the quarantine lockdown. So for most of us, let's stay for the first quarter of the year. For most of us, that was unexpected, coming out of nowhere with those challenges. So some of us, it's been a very painful experience for a lot of us. Me personally, as a result of that, I lost several family members that passed throughout the first quarter, as a result of the coronavirus and everything else. And however, one of the things that when we were in the lockdown, when I was in the lockdown, one of the things that I had to really dig down in myself, I'm like, okay, I had now. Before, not to say I didn't have time, but now I had 3 months, leading to 4 months with times in my hands from January to March, so starting from end of January, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? For some of us, we're very fortunate to work at home. But me, when I look at everything that was going on, how people was in pain, so what I did, I was already working on a project. I had the first draft of this book that I wrote. So I had to go back to it and like, okay, what can I do? So the year is not over yet. Right now, we are on a major, for the lack of word, major pandemic so what can I do? So during the quarantine time, so I had to go back and work on the book. And so as a result, like through prayers, get on my knees, asking God, okay, how could you use me in this time? What lesson am I supposed to learn while everybody else is hurting, while everybody else is asking questions, while everybody else, losing hope? What is it that you want me to learn? And then for me, throughout that process, it was like, I hear that internal voice and saying, hey, work on this project. What happened to that book you were working on? So it was a light bulb, that thing, and that went into my turn on into my head. So I just went to work and put it together. As I started working on it, all the ideas, with the 5 reasons come to play. And so that's how I was able to, come up with this, with the whole 5 reason aspect. And then moving on to now, from April to June to the second quarter. As we know, like when we started the second quarter, that's when just okay. Now from April to June and May, we started to see everything else that started going on with the police, social justice, Black Lives Matter, police brutality, and things. So for me, as a Black person, as a Black man, those have an effect on me as well, psychologically, emotionally, physically, all these things. So the heartbreaking moment for me was when my 7-year-old son, I step out, they call me like, hey daddy, are you okay? Calling to check on me. They're just like, if you got pulled over by a police, be good. I hope you could make it back home. So that was a turn on moment for me in terms of, okay, I gotta reassess my life. I gotta make my life more than what it is, not for my family, but also, for others. So all these things can come to play into just, okay, there's more to offer right now as we are hurting, but it's not over yet. So many of us are down. So we could look at halftime on as a game, like a basketball game, football game, whatever. So we from the first 6 months we've been down. We've been down, economically. We've been down, mentally. We've been down with health wise. We've been down in every aspect. But now with we in halftime, it's time to really take a step back. Let's reassess. It's time to reassess where we are with our lives. What we're gonna do. What do we want to do? So with that said, it's let me move in. Okay, with that said, now we could really take a look at our lives, what we want to do, how we want to set up, and all these things start with setting goals. So the goals set, goals mean guidance of achieving life success. So for goals, that's my acronym that I come up with, for goal setting. So goal guidance of achieving life success for 2020. So we have the next 6 months. We could still make the next 6 months your best year yet, no matter what. So you could for me, it's just like earlier I was referring that this year, no matter what, it was like, despite of the fact that I lost so many family members, 5 of my family members to this virus, but I still consider it, this 2020 is my best year yet. It has been my best start yet. Why? Because it just like, it allowed me to, dig deep into myself, to find out who I really am, as a man, as a person, so as a friend, as a dad, all this type of thing. So it's just like, that's one of the reasons. And I said, 2020 has been my best year yet. And the next 6 months will be the best 6 months of my life. And I truly believe it. So that's why I want to share this, this presentation with you guys, so, as if you're looking at my screen, you'll see the STRA. So that STRA is that it's a second aspect of the goal. Setting up your goal. So within setting up your goal, I come up with this strategy. This STRA, stand for specific, timely, relevant actions. So let's target the first one. The specific. Specifically in terms of what exactly you want to accomplish. So we know we have two more quarters. We have the third quarter, July to September, and the fourth quarter is October to December. So within those 2 quarters, what exactly we want to accomplish? Specifically, what do we want to accomplish? And then the second thing is what are the time frames? So we already know that the time frame is for the next 6 months, for the rest of this year. So that's our deadline to accomplish what we want to accomplish. We're not looking into 2020, 2021. So let's focus for the next 6 months, so between July to December. And we'll break each of those quarters. And the relevant goals, it means like, okay, what exactly, what we oops, let me go back here. Yeah, we live it. It's just like, okay, what is the importance, and what level of importance we want to achieve this. And then the lastly is the action type we're going to take, so to in order to make it happen. So let's take a quick step back as we're watching this. For example, I want you to ask yourself a very, very important questions. So giving the next 6 months, okay, if there's one thing that you could accomplish for the next 6 months, for that could transform your life for the next 6 months, what would that be? Just think about it. I'm just going to give you, so I'm going to give everybody watching now on the line at least a good 1 minute to let that sink in. If you have a pen or paper, just write it down. So just what is one thing? Just letting it. Just we're not going to take 4 or 5. Just one thing. Let's focus on one thing. What is one thing that you want to accomplish for 2020?
All right, now, Lance, just for clarification, are we looking for one thing for personal, one thing for business?
That one thing is going to spell that. It was going to bring in my next slide. That one thing.
No. Yeah, no, don't give it. I think you just moved to the next one. No, I just wanted to make sure for the folks, for the audience, so they know exactly what you mean when you say one thing. So,
yeah, just one thing. I'll get to that. No, just come up with that one thing for now. So let's all take a 1 minute. To come up with whatever you want to come up with. So.
And if you want to, you can either keep it personal and write it on your phone or your own thing, or if you want to drop it in the chat, however you want to do it.
You don't need to share it. Just keep it to yourself. Just one thing. Just one. Ask yourself that question. What is one thing that I would like to? Imagine that there's no limitation. So we remove the cap. We remove the ceiling of limitation. What is one thing that you would want to accomplish for 2020? We already know the first 6 months from January. We cannot go back and recap whatever we lost. We cannot bring back our family members that we lost over the past 6 months. We cannot go back to the fact that we lost our jobs. Whatever happened. We still mourning. We cannot go back. So now we only have the next 6 months to look forward to. So with that said, what is one thing that you would want to accomplish? It's gonna give 1 more minute to let that sink in. I hope everybody, take a piece of paper to write that one thing is. I'm not going to ask you to share it, but just for you to keep it, to yourself. 30 seconds. Again, I just want to, do that 30 seconds, just again, thank our sponsors, Point Lab, Point Lab, and U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce for all the great work that they're doing. They've been doing in the community, helping businesses to succeed and holding different workshops. So we're proud to partner up with them today and share those resources with you guys. And again, I want to thank everyone that's on the workshop. Those of you watching on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Periscope, wherever you're watching. Just want to, we're very appreciative of your support that you're spending your Saturday with us. Okay, so with that said, how is that one thing? Again, we're still part of your goal. Again, that's the definition of goals: guidance of achieving life success. So in case for some of you, if you didn't know, for those of you who come late, so goals. So how is that one thing that you selected? It's going to spill over. How is it going to help you achieve your spiritual, the things that you want spiritually or on your faith? Your family. How is that going to affect your family life? How's that going to affect your finance? How's that going to change your health? How's that going to change your career? How's that going to improve your relation? And how's that going to help your business? And how is that going to help your personal life? So those categories here, those are different categories when you sit and try to create goals for yourself. So there's a workshop in the beginning. I usually do it every beginning of the year about all of these. These are the different categories of goals when you're setting goals. You have your spiritual goals, your family goal, your financial goals, your health goals, your career work goals, your relationship goal, your business goals, and your personal goals. So each of those goals are different things. So now we want to do what I want to do is just want you to select one, come up with one, and I trust that you came up with that one thing that you wanna achieve for the rest of the year, and that one thing is going to transform. It's like a domino effect, going to transform everything else, all these segment around your life. So and now, so once you come up with that, now we know how it's going to impact it. What action must you take? Actions mean adopting change changes to improve outcome now. It's beautiful. You come up with a goal, but what action are you going to take? Okay, what action are you going to take every day for that one goal to have that ripple effect, to have that domino effect that we talked about earlier, that domino effect on your spiritual life, that domino effect on your family, that domino effect on your finance, that domino effect on your health, that domino effect on your career, that domino effect on your relationship, that domino effect in your business, in your personal. So how is that, like, what action are you going to take on a daily basis? What actions how's that actions going to translate on a weekly basis? How is that going to add up? Let's use it as an addition. So what you do on a daily basis, at the end of the week, it's going to give you the result. It's going to give you it's going to add up the sum. It's going to sum up at the end of the week. So how your actions on a weekly basis go to translate into on a monthly basis? What are you going to do on every month to month? So it started on the daily basis, moving to the weekly basis, and then to the monthly basis. Then from the monthly basis, it connected to your quarterly basis. So if for some of it, let me take you back real quick. As you remember, so we still have the two quarters that I spoke about earlier. We have the third quarter, July to September. That's why I was talking about on the quarterly basis. And then we have the October to December. So how's that your action throughout on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? All these actions are connected to the quarterly, to each of those quarters in order for that to happen. Okay, so that's as a result. That's what's going to sum up to the halftime result that we're going to need. So in order to see that's what we call the action you're going to be taking. It's resulted as the benchmark. Is resulted after all the effort. This is the championship. This is the reward. The halftime at the end of the year. That's the championship. That's the ring that you get. That's the result. That's how you will be able to achieve. That's the achievement. You'll be able to achieve those goals. So with that said, achievement also take accountability. There's in order for that to happen, it requires you to hold yourself accountable. And the best way to hold yourself accountable is to find somebody to hold you accountable. It's to find somebody that could help you, to be accountable. So I'm going to share this 5-step with you to how to select some accountability partners. And as we could know, research shows between 85 to 95% of people who has an accountability partner are most likely to achieve their goals. So once you select, if you have someone that could hold you accountable, you are more likely to achieve those goals. That one goal, remember, we're only talking about one goal that could play a ripple effect around your life. So the first thing that you need to do when you're selecting your accountability partner is look for someone that you look up to, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a pastor, whether it's like a good friend, whether it's a coach. Somebody that you respected, somebody that you close to, somebody that you're just like that you look up to, that in a way that who's not gonna be playing like, oh yeah, you could get away. Somebody who's gonna tell you like it is. Okay, so somebody is going to give you the push that you require, whether it's your wife, whether it's your husband, whether it's your parents, whatever it is. So the second thing is to look at for someone that has a different background than you. So what I mean by different background, okay? If I'm in a finance, if I'm in a finance, I'm going to look for somebody. Maybe may not be in a financial, but I could look at somebody on a higher level. If I'm like a CFO, that could help me. So if I'm an accountant, I'm going to look for somebody on the CFO. I'm not going to look for another accountant. If I'm a nurse, I'm going to look for a doctor that understands the nursing aspect, but at the same time, who could help me to get to that doctorate level. So somebody who's different, that has that type of background, who could help you, and someone who understands you. And also, number 3, which is very, very important, look for somebody who's more disciplined than you. Not everybody has the same disciplinary skills. Some people just like, they like to procrastinate. But if you know you like to procrastinate, get somebody who's very tedious, always like, very disciplined. They got to do this, they'll get it done. So with that said, it will push you to get it done, to work on that goal on a daily basis. Push you, okay, who's not afraid to be like, oh, what did you do today? To work on that particular goal. What did you do last week? What did you do last month? All this type of thing. And then fourthly is a person that believes in you. Don't go out there just get somebody who just to get, that person has to understand you. That the person has to believe in you. If if the person doesn't believe in your dream, it doesn't believe in what you try to achieve, that defeats the whole purpose of getting, having an accountability partner. So if they cannot see your vision to help you get there, there's no need for you to associate it with this type of individual, to have this type of individual to hold you accountable. At the same time, it has to be a mutual agreement. It has to be a mutual benefit, because if you go to achieve, that person has to believe in you to see that you could achieve that, and to push you, because it's going to help them as well in terms of, elevate them, make them proud, even more proud of you. And that's it, and then lastly, as somebody, what could help you to create a weekly action. That's part of the, where you could provide, like, create a weekly actions. So for example, so let's say you work on something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. So you meet with that person. This is my report. This is what I do. So in other words, you need to provide proof of what you do. You need to provide proof of your work to that accountability partner. And not just word like, oh yeah, Monday I work on this, Tuesday I this and that. No, you need to provide proof, having written proof, giving a written report to that person. Okay, this week, this is my report for the week. This is what I did. And that person has to be able to get that report from you. And that's part of the accountability, to keep it there. So at the end of the month, we review, to review it with you. Okay, I know you accomplished this. You're on the right path. If you're on the right path. Okay, if you're not, okay, we need to work on this and this and that. No, not only to serve as as a coach, as a mentor, but at the same time, just just primarily, that person's job is to primarily keep you straight. Just like, hey, you need to pick up the slack. No. So it doesn't have to be work with you all the time, but it just has to hold you accountable, pushing you to light the fire under you, in order for that to happen. And lastly, I just want to, I just want to share 5 reasons that why you want to make 2020 the best year yet. So we're not going to look back. No matter what happened, you can't go back this year. You can't go back 6 months. You can't go back last year. Let's focus for the next 6 months. We're just like, we're doing the short-term thing. What we're working on today, what I'm sharing with you today, is based on the short term for the next 6 months. And it could be accomplished. So, within the next 6 months, you could make the best, you could make the 2020 your best year yet. And how do you do that? Why you want to do that is because for those following 5 reasons, for your dreams and goals, And so the Bible said, without, whether you're religious or not, whatever, but, we know without vision, the people perish. So however you want to take it, if you don't have a plan, a written plan, you're not going anywhere. You never seen a pilot, get on a flight without having his plan. He's not going to go without his plan book. You go to see a pilot. Anytime you fly, you will see the pilot on the floor, checking doing the little check mark for fuel level, check mark for tire, check marks, same thing, so, and already have his flight plan, when he take off, where he's going to get, what gate, he's going to be landing, all this stuff, he already have his research. So, for those of you, when you fly, you don't know anything. You just get on the, bring your bag and, thing and sit on your seat. But all the work already been done, by the pilot. He's already spent hours researching, what route, what, everything else. So it's the same thing for your life, So you got to do it for your dreams. You got to do it for your goals. You got to do it for yourself. Secondly, you got to do it for your self-confidence. Nothing boosts your self-confidence more than to having accomplished something for yourself, having accomplished something to show for people, For me, this year so far, the reason that I share with some of my friends, people who are close to me, that that has been, the 2020 has been one of my best years yet, and that there's still more to come. It's because what I was able to accomplish during the quarantine. I wrote this book, for like I used the 3 months we spent. I wrote this book in 3 months. I put it together in 3 months when we started, to be in quarantine. I went to work every day. I work on it days and night, So for people who know me, just like I was on it day and night, just like just thinking like I go to bed with my laptop on, it's just next to my head, wake up in the middle of the night, make an adjustment, and so this is the result. As a result of this, I'm very proud, yeah, it doesn't boost my self-confidence. I have something to show for it, yes, so that's why it's important in terms of, for your self-confidence. At the end of the day, that's a prize for you. Do it for your family. If you don't want to do it for yourself, think about your family. Think about your kids. If you have kids, think about your friends or your mom or whatever. Do it for them. And as we just showed you earlier in terms of on the goals category and different categories, how it's going to impact different area of your life when you get this done. And number 4, just to prove the critics wrong. You know, people's not going to believe in you at first. You know, so that's why it's important not to share your dreams, not to share your things with small-minded people, with chicken heads or crab mentality. You know, because they're not going to understand what you try, what you try to do, where you try to go. So it's really important to prove the critics wrong. You do it to keep on proving them wrong day and day. So, and then lastly, you do it, you're going to get it done because you're here today. So, you're here on this webinar. It's not by accident. You're here, you're spending your Saturday with us. It's just like it's not by accident because you want to get something out of this. And we believe in you. We believe that, as a result of you being here, it could get done. It will get done, no matter what. So with that said, I want to thank our sponsors who allow us to do this and through the partnership with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, doing a great work. Webprint Lab, doing tremendous work. Vonel, as we collaborate to make this project. So what we're going to do next is really to take some questions. I know earlier when Marie was doing her presentation, there were a couple of great questions coming from her in terms about her presentation. So we're going to address those questions. For the next 15-20 minutes, we want to interact with you, answer your questions and any questions that you may have. And for me, this is my contact. You guys already know how to get a hold of me. You could, if you have a chance, check out our website, 5reason.lives, 5reason.lives, or shoot me an email, info@5reason.lives. That's how you get a hold of me, and or give me a call if you have any questions too. My contact informations are on the bottom as well. So I want to again thank you for your time and thank you for spending Saturdays. Now let's open it. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. You hear what we have to say. Now it's your turn. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear your concern. We want to get you involved. We want to hear how we could best support you, based on what we presented today, the information we're providing you today. What can we do to help you? Vonel?
All right. Thanks again, Guerlince. Again, wonderful presentation. I feel like clapping. I'm still old school where you like clap after presentation. So if we give a round of applause to actually both of our guests. Actually, we're all on mute. I'm going to unmute everyone for 1 second. If we can all just give both guests a round of applause.
Thank you very
Can I
much.
say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
Can I say something real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead. No problem.
All right. My name
Introduce
is
yourself.
Gama.
Okay,
My
go
name
ahead.
is Gama Altidor. For those who don't know me, I'm sure know me well. I want to. The reason I'm saying this is first to thank Guerlince for all his support. I remember when I first came to this country, Guerlince was the person who helped me with my resume to get a job. And 5 days after he wrote my resume, I got my first job at the airport. And when I went to tell Lance about it, he was like, that's just the first start. You can do better than that. And whenever you feel like it, where I'm at, come to me all the time. I remember we used to live in the same apartment. I used to on the 3rd floor. Guerlince used to be on the 2nd floor. But I spent most of my time on the 2nd floor at Guerlince. Like his apartment was open for me whenever I want to. And the most important thing, I remember 2015, a big thing happened into my life.
Look at this.
I'm sorry. You want to unmute yourself? I just muted everybody, but just unmute yourself. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I remember.
I just had to mute everybody. No disrespect, but just so that we can hear clearly. Okay.
I remember 2015, something big happened into my life. And I thought for me it was kind of the end. I'm not gonna say what happened, but Lance knows about it. And I remember Lance was one of the person who came to me and said, "Listen, I know you're trying to fix what happened, and you cannot fix it just by yourself, and don't force it." And I remember what he told me was, now you have the opportunity. You're more free than you were before. I advise you to go to school, learn something, and use it for good. I know people are not gonna expect for you to be out there, lose your life doing drugs, or lose your life being everywhere, like focus on girls and stuff. He was like, don't do that. Don't give them what they want. Be yourself. Use the best of you and use it, and to show people that you are better than what you even think. So I listened to him. I went to school, and I remember I graduated as a dean, and I was also an ambassador for the school. And after that, I remember when I went to Lance again to fix my resume for me to add a little better thing. And I remember after that, I got, so I went to MGH for my externship. I got hired. And I remember when I went to tell Lance about it, he was very happy about it. And he said, that's your second step. There's more for you that you can do, and I want you to do that. And I believe in him. I went, I give all myself, and right now in my department, I'm the number one employee. It's been 3 years. 3 years every year I got awarded, and I can say all of those is because of Lance. Because if it wasn't for Lance who were there for me all the time to support me, it doesn't matter if mentally. I remember I used to do delivery, and my car got towed. Lance was the first person who used his credit card to get my car out. So I can say if there's a big change in my life, Guerlince is a part of it. And thank you for that.
Awesome, awesome. Definitely appreciate you sharing that information. So for the sake of time, we're going to move to some of these questions. I'm going to start with some of the questions that I got during the chat here. I think Roseph, are you still with us? You want to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So we have one question from Veronique, and if we can see it here on the screen, I think she had asked, can burnout lead to depression?
Yes, absolutely. This is a great question. Burnout can lead to depression. And when I was doing the presentation, some of the signs that I mentioned, they're very, very similar to the signs of depression, actually. Feeling isolated, feeling kind of hopeless and helpless, feeling that you're alone in this world. Those are all feelings that you would get from burnout. And those feelings, they're the same really emotions that you would feel if you had depression. So once you become burnout, if you do not take care of yourself, it can lead to depression. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. That might have been from Mark, but I'm sorry, that might have been from Mark, not Veronique. So the next question we have is and you ever sorry, your thoughts on white and gray noise for sleeping? Can you hear me?
I couldn't really hear the full question.
Your thoughts on white and gray noise for sleeping?
Well, white noise is very good. It can calms you down, but I would advise to listen to more relaxing sounds. For me, sometimes I listen to native sounds, musics, or waterfall, and those are very, very great to help you sleep. Some people it works for them, and some it doesn't. But one of the things to focus is just stay away from, I would say, the blue light. Those will keep you up. Your screen time, your phone, those little things that you have plugged in your room, sometimes that has those blue lights. When you're exposed to them, it actually it does something to your brain. It's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? It activates your brain. So it's kind of makes it hard for you to kind of shut down. So relaxing noise, definitely, relaxing songs definitely helps a lot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thanks for answering. So the next question we have is, I guess Mark repeated Veronique's question. But I think this is probably geared towards Guerlince. This is from Veronique. Can you learn from someone who is not on the same level as you?
Yeah, you could always learn from someone. And one of the things that I could say is that, for example, that person doesn't have to be on the same educational level. We all have that one parents who may not never went to school. I have an uncle of mine, but this guy is the wisest guy that I know. In terms of like when he's talking to you and the things that he's saying, and if you listen carefully, he'll just for me, he was very instrumental in my life as well. So yes, in that sense, you can learn. Just like the same on the opposite side, you could learn, based on the mistakes, based on the bad experience that you may have had with somebody. So there's always a learning curve in everything. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Gamma as well, for allowing me to be your mentor and listen to me, to work with you over the years as your coach, mentor, and also a friend. So it's that speak volume. Thanks for your sharing your emotions. That, truly appreciated. Very humble by your words. But yes, to answer your question, Veronique, yes, you could learn. You could learn from someone who's not on your level, as long as the person understands you, as long as the person is in your best interest. You cannot learn from everybody. If that person, if what you're trying to teach you or what you're trying to learn is not going to be in your best interest, it defeats the whole purpose.
Okay. All right. Awesome answer. We have another question here. This also, for Guerlince here. And the question is, how do you know if you're setting the right pace when setting goals for between quarters?
It's going to be based on what I'll talk to you about, what I cover. It's based on the goal you set up, and then it has to match with your action. Again, what I explained with the straw philosophy, in terms of make sure it's specific, make sure it's the level of importance, make sure the level of time factor that you try to to set it up. For example, a lot of times you see, my goal is to have a lot of money. That's not a goal. If you have a lot of money, does that make you got to be as specific as you can. Or just like, my goal is to win the lottery. Just like, okay, you could go play scratch ticket. That's winning the lottery. You could buy a $2 ticket and you win like a $200. That's winning. So you got to be very, very specific in terms of what you want to do. And then based on whatever you come up with, then you have to break it down by small bang. That's why you started with the daily action. So you write it down every day. I'm going to do 5 things. I'm going to do 3 things that would lead me to that goal. So it's like taking the staircase, one step at a time. When you get to the 10th step, you reach your month, or you reach the quarter, or whatever. But you gotta start with on a daily basis. Every day you gotta do at least 5 things that lead you to it. And then at the end of the week, you look at those 5 things, how they played out. So okay, you write, okay, this week I did those 5 things so next week I'm gonna do the other 5 things. So those things that you're gonna do on a daily basis, they have to be realistic as well. They have to be relevant as well. So for example, if you say I want a job, I want to get a job that pays me $100,000. Okay, so because say, okay, the next quarter by September, I want to get a job that pays me $100,000. So right now what you need to do. First thing you need to do, just work on your resume. Step 1. Take your resume, make your resume attractive, so you could send it to recruiters. Step 2, have that somebody else check that resume to give you feedback. And then step 3, on a daily basis, you set up to yourself, I'm going to look for 5 jobs. Once I get the resume checked, once my resume on point, and once I get my cover letter on point, so now my next step, every month, every day, I'm going to apply for 5 jobs. I'm going to spend 3 hours per day looking for that job that pays on that pay scales, and then if sending my resume, sending my cover letter. So I do that on a daily basis. So those are the example steps. Before you know it, eventually the next month, the next quarter, you probably have a call, for an interview. But while you're waiting to get to that job, you got to do the work. You got to prepare yourself. Okay, so when that interview opportunity comes, you're ready to know you get everything on point. Don't wait for an opportunity, to get ready. You have to be ready for when the opportunity knock, so you could walk in.
It reminds me of a quote: if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right?
Exactly.
So you're pretty much always prepared. All right, definitely great answer. Definitely for some great questions. We have a little bit more time if we want to have. If there are any other questions or testimonies from anyone from the audience, if you can tell us about how to determine your life purpose. Roseph, you still with us? You want to unmute?
Are you there?
All right, then, girls, you can get started with that question.
Yeah, I will get started. The question is, how do you determine your life purpose? For me, the answer is, what is it that it's a deeper question. What is it that you enjoy doing? You got to ask yourself, if money was not an issue, let's say you wake up this week, every day. If money was not an issue for you, what is it that you would do that will bring you satisfaction on a daily basis? Let's remove let's remove any obstacles, money or paying bills, everything. Let's remove those obstacles. Just ask yourself, what is it that I would do that would bring me satisfaction on a daily basis when I wake up in my life? Is it helping someone? What is it that brings the adrenaline rush when I do it? Helping someone, seeing, providing, let's say, helping an elderly person as an example. Does that bring me satisfaction? Pouring wisdom out of someone. For me, what I'm doing now, I find that's how I find my purpose. I work in corporate America. I work with, it wasn't about the money. I was making the money, but I was miserable. It was just like, I was always like my mindset, rubbing Peter to pay Paul, or, dreading to be there. But when I started to do what I love doing, which is talking to people, providing encouragement, whether or not I get paid a dime for what I'm doing, I didn't write, like, for example, when I wrote my first book, I didn't write it, to the whole idea of it. I didn't write it to make money, just like, okay, I'm going to sell 200 copies. That was never the intent. I wrote it. So, because I always have a lot of people come up to me, okay, how do you start an organization? What do you like? Asking me questions about nonprofit all the time. Just, okay, I want to write something that could, help someone else. And, since I wrote it, I already gave about close to 200 copies away on me. So just like I had some my close friends and family, they bought it just to support. But everybody that I come to, I just give them a copy. And it's the same thing. When I learned not to chase money, to chase what I love, everything kind of clicked. So for in terms of finding your purpose, it's just like go to your self exploration. Ask yourself, what is it that and what is it that you love doing that would make a difference. Even if you're not getting paid for it, you'll still get a satisfaction. Go on a fast journey. Pray about it. Read about it. You'll find the answer. The answer is already within you. You're probably doing it on a daily basis. I hope that helps.
Hi guys, I apologize. I was kind of away from my phone for a little bit. To answer that question, as Lens mentioned, the answer is already within you. So it's basically like kind of like trying to figure out what you like, the things that you love doing. Like for me, I worked in finance as well. I was a domestic income analyst for State Street for a long time, and I loved the job, and financially it was okay, but it wasn't really my purpose. I've always felt like I wanted to help people, and it took me some time to kind of like sit back and learning about myself, learning about the things that I enjoy. And once I started going through that process and realizing that what I wanted to do was helping people, and by helping people, it took me another process to figure out, okay, which way do I want to help people? At first I thought, well, if I want to help, maybe going to nursing school would work for me. And I tried that. And when I went to nursing school, I realized that no, it wasn't really, nursing was not my thing. I do not like hospitals. So I would have been a bad nurse if I didn't like, if you can't be a nurse if you don't like hospitals and working in that environment. So as I kept looking deeply into myself to figure out the things that I like and the things that I love, the things that I would do if I wasn't getting paid for, I realized that being a therapist was it for me. And I gradually switched over, and I did not just become a therapist. I actually had to start from the bottom. I worked as the family support first, and going back to school, I sat down and figured out, okay, if I want to help and I want to be a therapist, what do I need to do to become a therapist? So doing my research, I realized what I needed to do. What I needed to do was going back to school. So I set these goals for myself as far as, okay, I know that I have to go back to school. I have to get my master's, and I have to get my license. I set these goals and work towards them and become a therapist. And once I started doing therapy, it became something naturally for me. I'm happy. I'm a lot happier being a therapist than I was working in finance. And to be honest with you, I would do my job even if I wasn't getting paid for it. Most of the time, sometimes I do things that I go above and beyond. I'm not even being compensated. But the fact that I found my purpose, this is something that I enjoy. I think that's the key thing. It's really that you enjoy what you're doing. And the fact that I found my purpose, I'm just able to just do it and be happy just doing just that. The key to finding your purpose is to really get to know yourself. Get a pen or paper, sit down, write down what you would like to do, and your inner self will guide you. I I think part of it has to do with your temperament, your personality. All these things will come into play as you're putting together that the person that you are and the things that you enjoy, and you will realize what your true purpose is in life.
And also to piggyback on what Murray said, I have a set of exercise questions that's on the book as well that will allow you those provocative, inner questions that would help you find those answers. So you'll be surprised, like, some of the questions that's in that book will just, like, once you answer them, when you start putting things on paper, it will give you that clarity that you're looking for. So there's like 4 questions that associated with that one particular questions. Once you get the answer to it, and then you'll find it. So I suggest that you get a copy. If you already have one, just look into it if you have.
Yeah, Roseph, there was just a quick follow-up question. Did you keep your license, your nursing license, when you went into therapy?
That's a funny thing. As far as nursing, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I got kicked out the final. I think the final semester. I failed my. I want to say medical surgery course. I failed it by 7 points, and that was it for me. And I realized that I could have gone back to take the course, but then again, I know for myself this was not the road that I wanna go down. I really felt that it wasn't for me. When I was doing my clinical at the hospital, it was dreadful for me going every morning for my clinical. So nursing was definitely not it for me. I did not finish the nursing program, and I have no regrets because now I love what I do. I enjoy what I do, and I get so much. It's such a rewarding field that I'm in. Again, for someone who's kind of like confused as far as what your purpose is, you can also work with a life coach. I do coaching, and you can work with someone as well. And this book that Guerlince has also has all these sets of questions that would help you kind of figure out your personality type and the person that you are. And also, again, like I said, if you need to work with someone, you can work with someone one-on-one. Feel free to give me a call. Feel free to email me. I think the last slide has my information. Feel free to reach out. I can definitely give you some pointers as far as how to work towards finding your purpose and start living a very fulfilling, rewarding life.
Okay. Great response. All right, and then we're gonna start to wrap up. We have about 2 more questions. We have one here from Veronique about how to get back on track after being on hiatus.
I would say really do a self-assessment. Start doing a self-assessment where you're at. Be real with yourself. Ask yourself the hard question. So part of that exercise we went through in my presentation, what is it that you want? So once you figure out what you want, and then you could start working from there. Again, so realize what you want. What do you want? Out of like whatever you're doing right now on your current situation, or based on what you're doing. Leverage what you already have. Think about how you could leverage what you already have, whether it's your expertise, your skill set. Think about it and then leverage it to get what you want. So it's just like at some point you just gotta shake it off. Be honest with yourself, because self, we all been there, like self pity and things and things. But at some point, it's not gonna, you gotta shake it up and then take actions, because if you don't take the action for yourself, no one's gonna take it for you. I could push you every day to do it, but if you're not really being honest with yourself and be willing to do it for yourself first, not for your husband, not for your wife, not for anybody else, or you try to do it for yourself first, and then and you start to working it out.
Okay. Thank you for that response. Hopefully that answers what they were looking for in terms of getting back.
And feel free to reach out, to either myself or Marie, for an extra assistant.
Okay. And then we also have, we'll probably be one of the last right before we come out with the trivia. Thank you for folks who have hung out with, man, about 95% of everyone is still online. Maybe we have some connection issues, but we definitely been giving away one of these. So I'm going to stay tuned for how to win a copy. We do have one more question from Esther, and it's the best advice you can give someone who wants to get a startup going.
Well, first of all, you got to figure out what type of startup, what type of company that you want. The best way to start is start doing your market research. Whatever let's say you want to start a service in the nursing room, whatever industry field that you want to go into, you start doing your market research. Find out who else is in the field. Look out who else is doing the same thing. So whatever company that providing that service, or that already doing what you're doing, study that company. Pick up three or two or three companies that are doing what you are doing, or just like look at the industry as a whole. Do your market research, because one of the things that you want to study that industry inside out. You want to know that business inside out. That's the best way for you to start your startup, because that's how you're going to be able to identify what's missing. Because the whole point of going into starting a startup, starting a business, is based on what's missing. Because once you start, you're starting something because everybody else is doing it. You want to get into too. But what is it that's going to make your service or your company stand out from all the other one? How are you going to stand out on the crowd? So the best way to do that, to get started, is really research your industry. So once you get that done, you get your market research done, then you could start putting things together. So it'll give you better clarity. Okay, how you going to attack the market? How you going to get your customers? And then from there, you just, okay, this is how I'm going to make I'm going to generate revenues. This is how I'm going to get going. Step by step. So it's a multi-step process. But the best way is doing the research, because it's through the market research you're going to really realize, okay, maybe this is not the best business that I want to go into. Maybe this is not the best market. I want to start something else. So you want to know exactly what you're about to get into, and I'll be more than happy to guide you through the process if you have more questions in terms of like, okay, you got to know, okay, how much the staff is going to make. Can your business really be profitable? The industry you get into, because if it's not, that defeats the whole purpose of being a business if you can't make money.
Okay. I'm just going to add my 2 cents to that in terms of the best advice you can give someone who wants to get a startup going. I would say get started. I think sometimes we complicate our business, and we have a lot of ideas. And I think everyone, no matter what kind of person you are, you've had a good idea. You might have been at a store and you know what? It would be good if they sold this, or you might have tasted the food. It would be better if it had this ingredients or some invention. But the biggest thing is that most people never get started. So I would say just get started. Don't listen to any negativity, any things that people tell you can't. Even when you do your research, sometimes it doesn't work for one person, but it might work for you. Exactly. So I think it's just about getting started and go for it. And usually it's in the failure, in the it not working out, you actually learn more about the business, and it goes from there.
Okay. Can I add one more thing to piggyback on what you said in terms of get started and the failure? Like for me, I make failure my best friend. I've been in this for like over 20 something years. I start companies, I lost money and things. I'm not afraid to fail. So one of the reasons a lot of people don't get started in terms of trying to do business, because they're afraid of failure. Make failure your best friend, because that's the only way you go to success, because you can't succeed without failure. Because the failure is the teachable experience that is going to lead you for the next best thing. Each time you fail, it's a next step to prepare you for the next best thing. So like Vonel said, get started while you're doing the research and things.
So I think if basically you're saying treat failure more like a lesson. Don't treat it as failure, but more as like it's an expensive lesson, or not expensive lesson, to learn what you need to learn.
Absolutely.
So last but not least, we have another question from Veronique. And is it wise to get loans while accomplishing your goals?
Loans to start your business?
I'm going a business loan, or maybe even a personal loan, but just lending in general, like basically accumulating a little bit of debt, financial loans.
It's absolutely. I mean, it's based on you. Whatever your needs are, whatever the type of. It's also based on the type of business you try to you start. Because a lot of us, for us, we don't have access to capital. We don't have the access to the rich friends, rich parents to come to. Just like, hey, I'm starting this. I need $2,000-$3,000 to get it. Sometimes, based on your credit, the loan is the best way. If you could get a loan to get it. And then I've done it myself. I took a loan out, to start projects. Some of them fail. Some of them succeed. So it's all it all depends. But yes, the answer is absolutely. I would suggest it if you have access, if you have the credit, go for it. If you don't, the other alternative will be, because you could look into a SOL. No, so you enter us all, and then if you need the money, you're gonna start the business in a couple of months. Then you use that capital, you pay us all, and then when you get yours, and then you use that money to start whatever project you try to do. So that's another alternative. So again, it's not a one hat fits all. It's based on your own personal need, and that's the type of business you try to launch.
Yeah, so we did have a comment from Hans that rates are at all-time low. So if you are going to take a loan, it's probably a good time to do that because of the interest rates and the way the economy is. Now, another piece of advice that, in terms of loans, and, you do want to be careful that you don't accumulate debt that you can't pay back or that you can't handle. So if your plan isn't set and you're still testing to get a big loan without knowing what you're going to spend it on, and you don't know exactly how it's going to come back, you just want to be careful with that, because there are some predatory lending places that will give you money, but then it's like, we need that back. So just make sure that you know who you're lending from and that you have a plan to pay that back. The other piece too is sometimes you might want to try to focus on getting your first client and maybe do your product or your service for free. So see if, and again, it depends on your business, but maybe you focus on your client first. Get your first client, sell your first product, and then use that as the seed money to start whatever it is you're going to start. So if you're selling books, you could always pre-sell your book first, right? You sell as many copies as you can in advance. You let folks know the book's coming out in a month, whether it be friends and family, it's coming out in a month. Please buy my book. You sell 100 copies in advance, and you let that be the investment, as opposed to getting a loan, because loans have interest. Your lender wants the money back. So try to be creative about, whether it be the sold, whether it be advanced sales. I think being creative about how you come up with funds. So yes, if anyone has any other comments before we wrap up here, this has been definitely an exciting session. Again, I commend people who have stayed online for up to 3 hours with us, or 2. It's been a great discussion. If there's any final words or any final conclusion before we wrap this up, I'm definitely excited. This is going to be some great information. We're probably going to play this back again. So look out for on the U.S. Haitian Chamber or U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce page. We'll probably replay this and chop it up a little bit. But yeah, any final words before we wrap up?
I want to thank everyone who was on the line today. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. Truly, we're humble and by your time, because time is the most expensive currency, and that's why a lot of times we find a company associated of value. I try to add a value to what our time is worth, but and realistic, time is
and don't log off yet. I'm sorry not to cut you off. We're still going to give away one of these books. Don't log off yet. I still have that news coming, so stay tuned. Go ahead, continue on.
So yeah, so we just value your time. We value spending the the evening with us, and I trust that everything that the content we share with you be you could put it in application. So and I'm available here. My contact information is there. If you need any extra support or whatever you need, just reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help. And I'm here to help you. And also just like, please, please, please. And I'm not begging, but this will definitely transform your life. If you haven't get your copy yet, I strongly suggest you get your copy. Go to our website, 5reasons.live, purchase your copy. And definitely you'll get a lot of value added into your life. And lastly, try to make don't look back what happened at the beginning of the year. Most of us, we lost someone dearly to us, as a result of COVID-19. Some of us may have lost a job. We may have lost whatever relationship may have tanked. But don't look up what happened at the beginning of 2020 to call it over. It's not over yet. We've still got 6 more months to go. So decide today, halftime, while we in halftime right now, decide to make 2020 the best year yet. Take action. Just one thing, just write it down. One thing that, if you could slap the magic wand, to make one wish come true, what would that be? To transform 2020 for you. Don't look at the past with the next 6 months coming up. What is that one thing that you could realistically achieve that would have a dominant effect, change every aspect, every category of your life? What is that one thing? Let it sink in, let it marinate, and come up with that one thing and take action on it. If you need extra help, all three of us are here, for the extra support. Reach out to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Roseph, any final words? And right before we go into the final word from Roseph, I'm thinking of a number. Actually, I have it written down already. It's on the other screen. It's between 1 and 20. Okay, so you have a 1 in 20 chance of guessing the number. The first person who chats the number, again, put it under the chat, Facebook, or wherever you're at. If you say the number, you will win the book. Okay, so Roseph, if you want to chime in on your final words in conclusion, what you want to leave folks with.
Yes. Final words. First of all, I want to say thank you to Guerlince for this great opportunity. It was a great experience for me. I enjoyed doing the presentation, and I enjoyed the feedback. Thank you, Vonel, and to everyone that is still on, thank you for your time. And remember, self-care is important. Make it your priority. Come up with 5 reasons why self-care is important to you. And I'm big on journaling and writing notes. So write these down and have stickers around your house just to remind yourself that it is important to take care of yourself, because once you are taken care of, then you can take care of the others around you. Again, self-care, practice it, make it part of your daily routine, 15 minutes, even 5, and make the rest of 2020 the best year for yourself and your family and your loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So yes, that was definitely an excellent last couple of hours, some great information. Hope everyone got something out of it, or a reminder or a refresher. I definitely learned some things that I need to apply. So yes, we're going to be giving away the 5 Reasons Journal, okay? And put that number between 0 and 20. If everyone can submit a number between 0 and 20, Guerlince will be sending a book. This one's mine, so you're not going to get this one. But you're going to get this wonderful book. Between 0 and 20 is the number. I'm going to give 1 more minute, and then I will reveal the number on the screen share. And it looks like he's already packing it, getting the shipment ready.
Yep, I'm getting it ready for shipment. So again, I want to thank you, Vonel, and want to thank Print Lab and Webprint Lab, and also
USHU Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, big shout out. And for those of you trying to start a business, I strongly suggest you become a member. If you have an organization, you also become a member of the chamber. They're doing a wonderful work. And for also everyone that's on the line looking to terms of to start a business, or even for your own self, build your own brand, I strongly suggest that you start doing that. Link up with Webprint Lab. Vonel will hook you up in terms of whatever your marketing is, your website, your print, and everything else. You're gonna need in terms of to build your brand, to market your brand or your business. He'll help you, he'll hook you up. So follow up with them, and so thank you again for your wonderful work.
And if somebody did ask if we're going to be doing this again, I'll let you answer that.
Yes, absolutely. We will. We'll keep everybody, you could be on the lookout, for another one. We'll definitely, we'll have a part 2.
Okay. And then another comment was fail often, fail fast, and fail cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the drum roll, I'm going to unmute everyone. You can feel free to do your little drum roll. We're going to reveal the magic number. You still have, before it goes, if you put the number in, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
All right.
All right. Are we ready to reveal?
So is it number 9?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's 7.
Lucky number 7. We'll have to see who the winner is.
Daddy.
Did daddy win? Somebody's daddy, huh? But let me see here in this chat if anybody put 7, or the first person to put 7.
I don't think we had 7.
Oh, okay. It looks like Cindy.
Oh, yeah, yep. It's Gentil. Cindy Jean.
Cindy Jean. She's the next contestant on 5 Reasons book. All right. So we'll
Cindy,
get
please,
Cindy,
Cindy, send us an email. info@5reasons.live.
Yeah, I'll inbox her. I'll get her information offline. Don't put your information for everybody. You don't want everyone coming to your house and looking for Z Sospois or some lumber or something. All right. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks everyone for staying patient and staying, attentive. Again, you could have been so many other places. You could have been having food. You probably were eating. But thank you, Guerlince. Thank you, Roseph. Thank you, U.S. Haitian Chamber of Commerce. Thank myself. And thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Halftime 2020. Next time, I guess, will be third quarter 2020.
Yeah.
All right. So take care. Have a good weekend. Everyone be safe. Wear your mask. COVID is still real. And be safe.
Thank you.
Bye.